Welcome back to Magical Task Force. Trementic here, and another brilliant event has actually started today, Hogwarts Back to School. And this one right here was probably the one I was most anticipated for because we knew nothing going into it. We didn't know anything about the quests. We knew kind of what the foundables were, where we would be able to get them because of a Wizards Unite hub article, but besides that, it wasn't really much information going into it. I did hit level 24 right before the event started, and it was cool because immediately there were no additional download assets or anything like that. You just immediately went right into it. So I'm assuming the last update they did were all of the assets we needed in order for this event. But I'm going to go over all of the quests and everything that I learned playing the first hour. Now, the first quest is pretty simple. It's you have to return 2 students, return 3 foundables of any family, and that means it doesn't have to be a brilliant event one or not. It can be anything. And then you just need to collect 2 ingredients or portmanteaus on the map. Super simple, should be able to get that pretty easy. Every single one of these quests also, you do have to recover one of the specific types of students regarding whatever house it's in. Now, there isn't really much rewards that you get until the last one regarding green books. You do get 1 or 2 different foundables you can place inside of the registry, but the majority of them are going to be ones that you have to find. There's 4 foundables that are traceable in this right here, which is crazy because we've always usually had 3. Moving over to the second one, recover 2 brilliant Hufflepuff students. Should be pretty easy again. They're all over the place. Next one, dine at 5 inns. Again, super simple. Shouldn't really have to do much or anything else. And then the next one is you have to open up 3 port keys. Now, the really cool thing is that if you had any walking, like running while before the event started, if they unlocked once you get to this part of the quest, they will count towards it. There was a little discrepancy with the last brilliant event where some of them didn't register. These do. Now, those are the rewards as well. As you can see again what I was talking about, the green books, you don't get really many of them until the last one. Third quest, recover 2 brilliant Ravenclaw students. Super simple. Next one, use 6 potions, and you can use these on the brilliant foundables. You can use these in fortresses. These can be Brain Barufio elixirs. It does not matter. The next one is perform 5 great spellcasts. Shouldn't be that hard to do, especially with all the other foundables that are out and about. Find the one that you are best with, trace that to your best of the ability, and you should be able to get that one pretty easy. Now, talking about the rewards for this one as well, you don't get many green books. Again, you do get 1 sticker, but again, you're just trying to get to that last quest for all those books that you desperately want. So again, you're just going to keep pumping them out and do as many of these as you can in order to actually get to that last quest, and I will show you right now. Last one, recover 2 brilliant Gryffindor students. Again, they're all over the place. Return 5 high foundables. Now, these right here, I think the easiest way to do it is going to be to try to find maybe vampires at night, Urklings during dawn or dusk, things of that nature that are kind of pretty common to spawn. Anything with a yellow line above it should count as a high foundable. Next one is complete 4 wizarding challenges. Should be pretty simple. There's no set limit or anything like that you need to be able to do. Plus, you can use your brilliant runestones on this in order to actually complete that. Now, if you look right there, these rewards are pretty awesome. 9 green books and 50 gold. I'm all about that 4th quest rewards. So, first off, walking around, these things are spawning the place just like they did last time with the other brilliant event. I do want to talk about, though, real quick about port keys. You're going to have to walk these port keys. These are new port keys. They're only 3-kilometer port keys. The cool thing is, though, is that if you actually do the math, they did raise the number that you actually need foundable fragment-wise in order to place it into the registry. You need 5 fragments now instead of the original 3 like they've done before in the past for brilliant events. But, like I said, if you do the math, you're actually having to do less work for those 5 fragments. You can only find them in the 3-kilometer brilliant port keys, but if you do 3 times 5, that's 15 kilometers in total that you would need in order to get all 5 if you got all 5 from the first port keys that you opened. Now, if you think about it, from the last event, you had to walk 7 kilometers and you had to get at least 3, so that's 21 kilometers. So we're already less right here in order to be able to get that foundable in the port keys. You do need to remember also that these port port keys that you pick up this week will not work for part 2. So you need to make sure that all of the port keys that are brilliant port keys that you pick up this week, you get rid of, so you don't actually use them at all. Now, I did use some 7-kilometer port keys from the last event. I wanted to just see if it actually would give you anything, and of course it didn't do it. You don't get anything from this event. They still gave you Potter's Calamity ID. So if you have any of those 7Ks and you were hoping that you would be able to get some of the fragments for this event, I'm sorry. I was hoping you'd be able to, but it just does not look like it is going to actually work that way. Good news is, though, there is only one foundable that you need to find in those port keys. So with them only being 3 kilometers, you could, in theory, use your gold key. That's what I was doing, actually, in order to open them, because they're not that big. Especially with us having a week, I might try to use the gold key instead of spending money on those silver keys. Now, going into fortresses, I used about 5 runes or so. I was able to get all of the fragments that I needed, but I just want to remind everybody that part 1 and part 2 of this event will use the same rune stones. So if you are having trouble, you don't want to try to blow through all of your rune stones, especially if you start getting that registry at a higher level, because it will be harder to get them. Now, there is a really cool trick that I'm going to go further into more detail in a different video, but I wanted to share it here just in case you're having trouble getting those foundables for this brilliant event. If you go into a fortress and you use one random rune, and then you go into another battle and you use a brilliant rune stone, then you finish that, go back in and use another brilliant rune stone, those 2 times you use the brilliant rune stones, you should get fragments. If you just repeat that, 1 random rune stone, 2 of the family that you were actually going for, 1 random rune stone, 2 of the one that you're going for the family for. Every time you use those 2 rune stones after you get that cycle and that pattern going, you should be able to get those rune stones, like I said, or those fragments, I apologize. Like I said, I will go more into detail with that. There's a really good video that the guy over at Wizards News actually did. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to take a look at that, but I will make a video about that sometime soon, because that's, besides this brilliant event, that's something that you can actually use to be able to fulfill the registry for all of the foundables you can only find in fortresses. Now, I do want to remind everybody that we do have a full moon coming up here in a couple days. August 15th is when the full moon should be here. If you're looking for werewolves, those are the times that you're actually going to need to look for them. They might be a little bit harder to find, though, this time because of us having the brilliant event going on during those spawns. Not sure if they're going to show up like they were supposed to the day before and the day after, or 2 days before or 2 days after the full moon. So I'll definitely make some sort of announcement of, hey, they're here, or hey, we have to wait a little bit longer. But like I was saying, they might be a little bit harder to find this go around because of the brilliant event going on. But I know there's a lot of people who are on the werewolf toughs for the SOS, and also people who are really wanting to actually prestige that oddity page. I hope this has been helpful for you, though. Like I said, this is everything that I was able to find out within the first hour. I was able to get to the 4th quest pretty easily, just because the students are appearing all over the place. I want to say the hardest one for me personally to find was probably Gryffindor, followed by Slytherin. Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw seem to be pretty common all over the place, and Gryffindor I did see enough to actually put into the registry, but it was only in one spot, and for some reason there were like 4 or 5 that popped up and there was nothing else around it. Thank you for checking out the first hour video, though. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section, and I will make sure to answer them as quick as I can. My name is Trementic. If you have found this helpful, please give the video a like. Subscribe to the channel for more tips and tricks. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at Trementic. It's where I post a lot of breaking news when I don't have time to make a video. But, as always, have a wonderful day.